Hey, super cool that you're here, Orjan. Thank you very much for taking the time. Between your flights, you're on the way to Japan, and exciting times ahead, right?
It is. I'm going to Malaysia today. Kuala Lumpur is my first stop. Got a packed meeting room tomorrow with Chinese and with Malayan people and some internationals. Then we're moving on to Taiwan, and we've got a packed room in outside of Taipei, and then leadership training next morning. And then we will fly on to Japan, where we have about 400 or 500 people in Osaka and a leadership training on the Sunday. Then we go to South Korea, where we're going to be more than 700 people in a meeting on our last stop. So that's building up bigger and bigger for every stop that we do.
Wow, amazing. We just had an interview with Kinda, a successful entrepreneur in Switzerland, and she said why she decided to join Zinzino. And one reason is that Zinzino is always like improving, going ahead, and bring in new technologies. And we had a call last weekend, and you told me some super inspirational topic about the new company Zinzino just acquired. And that would be one of the first questions that people want to hear. What is this new company? What is Sankey? And why is it so special that Zinzino acquired this Sankey company, Orion?
Well, well, first of all, the latest one that we announced was Scion, which was known from before with Phytopharm, which is our entire algae infrastructure. And algae are the future of food, and then specialized algae are the future of nutrition. So for me, I think the most powerful thing that have happened in my life, except from the balance test, that must be number one. But second most is the acquiring of the algae production, because this gives us a possibility to influence food for the future, nutrition for the future. And we will create the best omega-3 that the planet have ever seen. And that empowers us to put the entire planet one day back into balance. So that's huge. Then when you've got balance, now the microbiome with a gut test is the next step. And Sankey is a leading company in the world inside of the microbiome area with specific postbiotics. I went to see their farm in Alicante about 4 or 5 months ago in May, and it's very fascinating. They've collected trees that are over 2,500 years old. Then they collect bacteria from those trees. Then they've collected a bee tribe that is 9,000 years old, black bees, that is then pollinating the garden and so on. And they pay from all the farmers in a 5 kilometer radius to have only organic fertilizers to protect their bees. And then this garden is then growing up the best possible strains of bacteria and best possible fruits and best possible of everything. And this goes into technology that is called fermenting. And then they ferment these and they create postbiotics. And that is a revolutionary technology. And Sankey has been leading that and gives us quick access to three proven formulations plus one plankton formulation that I could talk about in addition. But then it's also giving us access to the hottest nutrition ingredients on the planet, like making a way around the patents on it with our own technology, probably more powerful and at the cost that is unheard of. And that's one of our big product launches next year. So postbiotics to heal the gut and to give nutrients to us that can revolutionize our health. That's a part of the future. And that's the second step of health is take care of your balance, take care of your gut, then take care of your micronutrients, your phytonutrients, so vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, as I said, polyphenols, beta glucans, carotenoids, and so on. Then number four, take care of the macronutrients, so the water, the protein, the fat, and a little bit of carbs is okay, not too much. Most have taken care of their carbs, so we don't need to worry about that part of it. And then, of course, you got to take care of sleep, and then it's your exercise of your brain. So you're making sure that you have cognitive health, And then eventually the last part of it is physical health, physical exercise with both stretching and building muscles and your cardio and so on. So if you take care of all of those, and we will have leading products in nutritional area in all 7 areas, but we will dominate 1 and 2 and be test-based and change the world in those 2. So yes, I'm on fire.
Wow, that's so inspiring to be market leader in these two fields, but also like playing in all 7 you said. And from your point of view, Orjan, you shared at the ambassador trip, and I think also in Oslo, that it will take until 2032 when the price for our own omega-3 will have like the same price like the all the others, but with much better quality. What do you think about which time period we can think about having also dominating the second area, the gut?
So in the gut area, we will actually be price leading from day one, because this is a place where Bijit, which is the scientist behind Sanki, he's developed the most unique technology and is operating from creating a better raw material in the garden, making it cheaper to make the finished product. This is the exact same philosophy that Sion with Tino had, is that if we create a better algae to begin with, no microplastic, no PCBs, no heavy metals, which is in nearly every algae production around the world. It's packed with this because they grow them outside in ponds or they grow them in the ocean. So if you have a better quality at the beginning, you can do a cold processing and then in the end get a lower price, even though you, as an investment up front, had to spend more to build bioreactors and fermenting bioreactors. That's a capital cost, but over time, when you write that off, this becomes as cheap and maybe even cheaper than producing it in the pond, but with no pollution, which gives you then the power position in the market.
Wow. So it's getting more and or closer and closer to our goal, 2050, to make like this 40 billion in revenue, 100 million customers. So you can see crystal clear, I know, but I think now more and more people can see it as well. So the goal from Zinzino is really to be like, if you talk about health, that there's one company and that's Zinzino. Or where do you see Zinzino, Orjan?
So just like Apple dominated and dominates the smartphones. Tesla is dominating electric cars. SpaceX is dominating space travel. And you could go through all the different brands. Our ambition is to dominate 2 industries, network marketing and nutritional health. And we're going to be able to do that for multiple reasons. First and foremost, I think it's because we have the most unique product concept there is. Secondly, we're investing in the technology behind the product, so owning everything from the bottom up. But then at the end of it is about the culture that we build, that you build, that Sasha build, that all of your leaders are building together with you, and then giving birth, so to say, to new leaders all the time that comes into an ambitious, inspiring community where we recognize effort and we recognize results and we grow up leadership that wants to improve themselves through professional and personal development. And that gives an economic opportunity to build your own business on a platform that is proven with the best products in the world. I think that if we just focus on building the best products for health, there is no doubt that the health market will be growing. There is no doubt that testing market will be growing. And eventually, when something is growing, everyone wants to go up in quality over time. And then when they go up in quality, they will end up with Zinzino. So there might be cheap copies that enters them in to begin with, but when they then really want to solve their problems, they'll end up with Zinzino. And you're an entrepreneur. Everyone listening here is an entrepreneur building your business as a part of that. And that's what will make us number one, the duplication factor of network marketing, because I grew up in this profession. It's my favorite profession. And my goal when I was 21 years old was to was to make network marketing known and recognized, and that when people go through college, they go through university, they dream about becoming a network marketer, because there they could have more freedom, they could make more money, and they could realize themselves, and they could be able to work from anywhere. And at the same time, with, and not saying that we have a little responsibility, but a different type of responsibility than what you have if you own a company, or if you're a leader in a company. You can then play life on your own terms and build a business on your own terms. And I think that's one of the major things that drives it.
Wow. We talked about many topics already, Orjan, but we never talked about your dream you had when you were 21 years old for really reshaping this industry, because there are so many companies out there who don't work like Zinzino, let's put it that way. And it's also a dream of mine that kids in school say, hey, my dad, my mom is network marketing professional. They help people in health and wealth, and I want to be that as well. So, but from your point of view, Orient, just in a few sentences, what do you think? Or from your point of view, why is network marketing such a nice profession, and why should we not hide that it's network marketing?
First of all, I have obviously spent a lot of time on this in my life. I've got one of the biggest libraries in the world of network marketing books, with plus
Yep.
200 books. I don't know how many. I stopped counting at one point, and I've read most of them. And then obviously, what attracted me to it was that I saw some potentials that I'd never seen before. And the potential of being able to develop your own business without having to take the infrastructure investment cost of building a business. It was very unique 33 years ago when I joined, and it's still unique today, because even though we say that a lot of businesses are free, there is a whole lot of equipment you need to buy to run that free business. You've tried some of that yourself, Michael, so
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about. And then also, even though you can start your own business, in most other cases, you then have to build a brand before you get traction. While here you're coming in with a pre-existing brand. So from a marketing standpoint, there is a lot of logic. But then what makes me the most excited is what I call the equal opportunity. So if I invite you in to work for me in my startup company, maybe you can get a little bit of shares, but you'll have a salary. I'll be the main owner, and I'll be the CEO, and you will continue to be the marketing director. And it will be like that indefinitely. And there will be a pay gap between the two of us that are enormous. If I invite you to come in and join Zinzino, you build 4 lines, I build 3 lines, you'll make more money than me the next month. And over time, you will always make more money than me if you're driving more lines, more volume. And that's an equal opportunity. So it doesn't matter if you join day one or if you join 10 years from now. If you go and drive more volume, more payable volume than the person that came in before you will be making more than them. And there will be people in the future making a ton more in commissions than me and Hilda, unless we keep on developing the business. And I like that equal opportunity. And I think that network marketing has nailed that profession, or that principle, as a profession better than any other profession out there. Plus, in Zinzino, we've done it cleaner, better, faster, more sustainable, with better products, with better longevity on the customers. And we're overtaking the world, not only from a distribution side, but also from a product and health side. So that's the short version. If we want to go more into depth, we can spend the next 2 days on this subject.
That's so inspiring for me. But I know there's also on Spotify a super inspiring podcast you did a few weeks ago, also regarding this topic. So we know now what is going to happen for what you are burning. And but it was not always like that, because many people say, "Oh, now it's Orjan, Saele, and Hilde. They are so successful, and Zinzino, and wow." but the first years were super tough for you as well. You built in network marketing. You were a leader. Then you founded your own company. The first year were a struggle. And at the lowest points, maybe there are some people here new. Maybe there are some people here who are in the middle of the month. The goal is so far ahead, or they're super behind. And at your weakest points, Orjan, what did you do? How did you come through these tough times? And do you have advice for the people here?
So we all have a past, and the past is both rosy red and the very dark, deep black colors that we don't want to talk about. We all have the downfalls, we all have the misery, we all have the sad points, we all have when we cried, when we wanted to give up. If you're sane, you have always wanted to give up at some point, and I did that as well. I think we just accept that we have a past. And then we ask a simple question, what's next? Andy Dooley did that on a rank up call earlier today, which I loved. It was just beautiful. What's next? What's the next step? And the next step for me was to get one more customer. If I get one more customer, then there was a future. And if I could help the people in my team to get one more customer each, that was a multiplying future. The next step after that is to get one new partner. If you get one new partner and they get one new customer and they get one new partner, then you have a future of duplication. So I think that leave the misery behind. I know it can be difficult at times, but decide upon focus your energy upon taking one more step, one more thing, one more person, one more phone call will potentially change everything and will change the outcomes of your life in this business.
Amazing, amazing advice. Focus on what you can do, and always focus on the next possible step. What's bringing you toward your goal? And in our case, it's talking to a potential customer, talking to a potential partner, Orjan. And I think you have to board your next plane, or
No, I'm fine. They're starting Group A is ordering here, but they'll probably let me on later as well.
okay,
They
cool.
won't sell my seat.
Cool, Orjan. We just finished our Dach tour, and we had over 1,000 people attending. And there we announced our special guest for our event in February. And you know who is the special guest? And we still we have like 750 tickets, and we already sold like 620 or something. So a few are left. And what would you say? Is it recommendable to go there? And what can they
I,
expect from the
I,
special?
I'm looking forward to get to know everyone, and I think we'll have fun. I think you'll learn something. I think coming to events is a little bit of the knowledge that you get from the stage, but it's even more about the feeling that you get from the people that you're together with over an event weekend. And sometimes that has more of an impact than the impact of the messages. Now, every event is different. So if you've been to one before, sometimes it is the message, sometimes it is the feeling, sometimes it's the ability to come up and ask me the one question that you want to ask me. And that's what happens when I go out to regional events. There is a little bit more time than on national ones. So if you team up with your upline, you get a couple of minutes, you get to ask the question that is important for you. And maybe I've got some insight into your life that will help you develop faster or develop into having the breakthrough that you need to take it to the next level. So I'm expecting to see everyone and more at the event in February.
Amazing, Orjan. Thank you very much. So looking forward to have you there. And Orjan, maybe to finish, we have, like I said, a lot of new people also here. In November, 1,000 people are going to start in our team, and I know a lot of new ones are here. Do you have a tip? How would you use if you would start brand new in Zinzino today, knowing what you know, what you're knowing? What would you recommend for the next 2 weeks to really get the best results in November and lay the foundation for December, January, and so on? Do you have a recommendation?
So there is a pattern that works. Follow that pattern. That's the pattern that the team is teaching. And that goes from write your prospects down into a list. Now, you could do that online. You can do that on a physical list. How you follow the pattern matters less. then when you made that list, then contact people on that list and make sure that they're taken through a presentation pipeline. And I emphasize the pipeline. One meeting with people is not going to make the difference already. Always. It's not always going to make a difference. But when it's followed up and followed up again, then people have enough time to let the information sink in, and they have enough time to trust that you will be there for them. And as that is happening, people will join you as a customer, and you'll get your 4, you'll get your 10, you'll get your fast start, you'll get your refund. And then eventually, when you do that same with a partner pipeline, you will have your 2, they will duplicate, and you'll become an executive, you'll become a platinum, you'll become a diamond, as long as you keep on rotating that pattern. 2 things when you rotate the pattern. If you always grow, it becomes easier to rotate the patterns. And the second one, the faster you rotate the pattern, the more output it will give you. So in a month like this, we want to increase the input, because that's how we get results that we dream about this month.
That was a big one. Rotate the pattern. I think many people forget that. Orjan, thank you so much. Do you have any last words for our team here? We have 500 people. We bought the Zoom update, but
I'll give you a sneak peek into my January kickoff that I'm filming on my trip. I don't know how I'm gonna do it yet, but have my camera and do something in each one of the 4 cities that I'm visiting. And the subject that I've been working with, I presented some of it also in Oslo. It is what leads people to take action. Because there is a lot of people that set goals, a lot of people that wants a change of their situation. There is a lot of people that dream about having a breakthrough, but then they can't bring themselves to either contact the people of the list, or discipline themselves to book up the calendar, or discipline themselves to contact enough people to where it makes a difference. And there is 3 steps on this journey. Number 1 is correct your attitudes. How you're thinking is influencing how you're feeling. That becomes your attitudes. No, they have a storm here. I don't know if you guys can hear my background, but if you have a great attitude, that will more often lead you to take action. If you have a great attitude and you're still not taking action, look at your knowledge base. When we have little knowledge in an area, we're hesitant to take lead. We're hesitant to take action. We're hesitant to go out and present it. So get on a personal growth and professional growth program. So every day, growing your product knowledge. Every day, growing your knowledge about Zinzino as a company. Every day, growing your knowledge about how you lead and how you grow a team. Because the more knowledge you have, the more confident you become. And if you have a great attitude and you have great knowledge, you will nearly always take action. If you still don't take action, just look into your motive. Sometimes we think that we're doing things for money. Most of the time, I realize that money is just a surface thing. Go deeper into the ground and find the things that really matter to you, and then clarify your motive, that this is much more meaningful than just the money. And then we celebrate the money on the journey. And when that's clear, we will always take action. And this is actually the secret to anything that you want to get done in life.
That's a huge one. Growing and find the motivator behind why you want to do the action. Orjan, thank you very much. And there's one question in the chat. Maybe could you answer that? I know you love to talk about that topic. That's why I ask you. They just asking, Orjan, is the right time to buy the Zinzino stock? Can you say one word to that?
This is the worst time to ask me the question, because we're giving a report on the 19th. So Wednesday morning, 9 o'clock, you'll see our quarterly report. If that is good, like better than the market expects, the share is going to go up. If it's what they expect, it's going to be flat. If it's less than they expect, it's going to go down. So I don't give advice based on the 19th. I give advice based on the following. We are going to have more customers next year than we had this year. Then we're going to have more customers in 2027 than we have in 2026. So long term, as long as we grow in size, eventually the stock price will go up. But if you look into all the other companies in the world that did what we did, created a trend, and then you look at how they grew up to a peak and they have a drop of 50%, you will see that most of them recovered that dip in less than 2 years. So if you just think from a technical perspective, stocks that grew up, then dropped 50%, but keep on growing in their sales numbers, keep on expanding globally, they all, but very rare exceptions, doubled in the next 2 years after that. So if you have a 2-year perspective, I think it's a very good buy today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, next year, because it's going to go back up because we are developing our sales every single month.
Best answer, Orjan. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you
Thank you.
for taking your break here at our team call and for joining us. Really appreciate it. And all the best for the expansion in Japan. And thank you very much that you joined us here, Orjan.
Thank you very much. Okay, bye-bye.
Have a good flight.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.